It's me, John Master Lee.
And I'm Lulu.
That's the voice I want to hear from any Super Mario Brothers character. The fact that they got Chris Pratt playing Mario Brothers, Mr. Star-Lord, Mr. Anything but Mario Brothers. I don't know. I huge question about it. And majority of people, I think so. Well, we're going to find out now what it's really going to feel like because the first teaser trailer is out for this movie.
Wait, they're changing the voice for the character?
Well, we don't know, right? We don't know if it's going to be some dude making up an Italian accent or if it's actually going to be Chris, like, speaking in his voice. Like, you know, is he going to try to, like, fit into the character? I think he's got to at least try. But, I mean, he's got to, right? Otherwise, it's weird. Guess we'll see.
We'll see.
Guess we'll see.
Maybe you will be surprised.
It's funny because Nintendo makes such great games, but anything that's kind of outside of the games have been like so hit or miss. Like the decisions they made around like the first Mario Brothers movie was just like, it was so horrible. It was so bad.
I don't even think we watched it.
I don't think I ever finished it either. I got through most of it, and at some point I'm like, this was just so bad.
But it is your favorite game, isn't it?
At some point, Nintendo was my favorite gaming company too, right? Every kid dreams.
Well, you work at Nintendo.
I did not work at Nintendo. I did work on some Nintendo-based games when I was working at Hudson.
Oh, I see. Oh,
but
Hudson.
no,
Okay.
I actually, in fact, I hate Nintendo now. I have bad blood between them and I because I did actually apply for a job to work at Nintendo once, and they shot me down. Not only did they shut me down, they questioned my integrity.
What?
It's a crazy story. I might as well tell you all. So this was like after I was working at Konami and applied to them. I forget what even the role was. And someone called me up, someone in HR, had a conversation, and then they just flat out said, hey, you know what? We believe that you're lying. We don't think that your background holds up. And I'm like, well, what do you mean? He's like, well, you say you worked at Konami as like an executive, and you know what? We don't believe you. We think you're lying. We know someone here who worked at Konami, and they said they don't even know who you are. And so I had to explain to, well, let me explain here, right? Hudson, which was at one point an independent company, was acquired by Konami. It was majority owner. In fact, all my business card, it was the Konami logo was on it, right? So you can kind of think of it like as a subsidiary. It was a little weird at that stage because Konami hadn't actually publicly made known that it was just like gobbling up Hudson and taking it over. But it had already happened behind the scenes. But the guy's like, no, we don't believe you. In fact, we think you're lying. Like, how dare you like lie about something like that on your resume? And so even after I explained it to him, the person like doubled down on it. It's like, you know what? I still don't believe you. This is not a just like, no. And like hung up on me. And so, like, I don't know what to do. Like, do I call them back? Do I try to find out who said that they didn't know me to at least clarify? Because I would have said, like, talk to my boss, the CEO. It's like, yeah, we are part of Konami.
Gosh.
So ever since then, I'm like, I would never apply to go work at Nintendo.
Damn.
Because I'm like, that person not only left the bad blood, but I had already started to hear the rumblings too. Like, it actually isn't that great of a place to work at. Yeah. Like Reggie, who was a president for a long time, wrote a book about his experience at Nintendo. And a lot of people over the years have kind of like revealed like the U.S. office was just a puppet for the Japanese office. That unless you work for part of the teams that were truly, truly creative, like if you work with like Miyamoto, like the specific games team, the rest of it, they just treat you like crap. And there were so many people in the U.S. office that were like contractors, as an example. They were all treated like second-class citizens. They couldn't go through the same doors as the regular people worked, eat in the same place, weren't invited to the same parties. It was, like the culture there is like fucked up, which is weird because you think of like Nintendo being this amazing place to work.
Right.
Like a childhood dream.
Right.
So like up until that point, I heard these rumblings. I didn't think much about it, but like having gone through that HR experience, would I be able to have an opportunity to explain?
Yeah, exactly. To hear
it was like,
all
right, that was a sign. That was another, like, one of those notches of like, yeah, something's about this place ain't right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm glad it's not your loss, baby.
What are you glad? My childhood dream was destroyed at that moment? All right, yo, let's check this out.
All right.
Because based off that story, it's hard to tell if, this is on like the side of Nintendo that creates good stuff or the side of Nintendo that is like just the crap stuff.
Yeah.
We're going to find out. By the way, if you want some more cool commentary, check out my podcast.
And if you want some hotness, check out my fantasy show.
And away we go. Okay. Well, it's sufficiently cartoony enough, so I like that. It's not real people, at least.
Oh.
Behold, the king of the Koopas!
Open the gates! Attack!
So stupid.
That is but a taste of our fury. Do you yield?
Who's that?
I do not.
Damn. Wow, the
finally
visuals of
found
this
it.
is
Now who's gonna stop me?
pretty amazing. Wow, that's beautiful.
I know.
What is this place?
Do not touch that mushroom, you'll die! Oh, I'm sorry. That one's perfectly fine. Come on, Mario!
Mushroom Kingdom, here we come!
Ooh!
You know,
I like it.
kind of, yeah, I have to admit,
I think I would watch this one then, yeah.
Then what?
Well, the real person that played Mario.
Poor Bob Costas. I'm sure that just feels like a stain on his life, his entire repertoire of good work. Yeah, that was a lot better than I would have thought.
Yeah.
There's still not enough of Mario speaking to judge it. At first, it sounded like Chris Pratt, but then eventually you could tell he was kind of a little bit in character.
I think so.
It was hard. Maybe there's one way to put it. It didn't throw me off. It didn't make me go like, there's something really broken about this Mario.
Right.
At least I didn't have that reaction, which is good.
Mm-hmm. Maybe it's just the way they do the trailer.
That could be too. Maybe eventually they'll change the voice like they did for Bane, because people are like, "Fuck this shit.
Although
This
you
is
can't even
terrible."
understand.
Well, Bowser's voice sounds great. That mushroom dude, I don't know who plays him. That sounded on point.
Yeah.
I don't know why they didn't bother just hire all the typical actors who have these speaking roles from the game. Because, and here's the thing, right? I work in an industry where a lot of these voiceover actors never get the big Hollywood break. So, and I actually did get to work with a guy who does the voice of Mario. I did I think a podcast with him once too, and a great guy. And he's just down to earth, and he's happy to do the voice whenever you want. He actually even I should have saved it. He did my ringtone, hey, this is John, and me and Mario, and something like that. And it was so much fun. And you just want them to have the big break and something like this. The movie comes along, and guess what happens? Pratt takes his job.